What a weekend. Shanghai, right? Not the best race. Not the best race. Neither was the sprint. Sprint had some exciting moments. Yeah. Let's go through some of what happened with some of the teams. Ferrari. What a tale of two cities, right? You have just a celebration of Lewis Hamilton making pole in the sprint, and then you have race day where, both cars are DQ'd. It's really, that team, they're tied with Williams at the moment. And I know it's been 2 races, but, a double DQ is so tough. That is that's really heartbreaking for that team. I just really can't fathom how it could get worse than that. I think that going from a sprint victory to just absolutely nothing on race days, that's soul crushing for that team. And you really, we all joke about Ferrari and kind of, the show that really is that team, but it's hard to ignore it. It's really hard to ignore it at this time. So, yeah, that's Ferrari. That's Ferrari for you. Is that a truck? Red Bull. Let's talk about Red Bull for a minute. And it's not a fast car at the moment. And they are in some driver turmoil right now. Liam Lawson, 2 weekends in a row, 2 really poor showings. I know he got to 12th in the actual Grand Prix this weekend, but in the sprint, he just was nowhere. His qualifying is just at the bottom. Listen, I think he deserves at least as many races as Pierre Gasly got. But, here we are. Red Bull is in a situation where Max is dragging that car by himself. And you have drivers on the other team, the sister team, the junior team, so to speak, looking just much better, much more comfortable, especially, Yuki in the sprint, coming in 6th, holding off Antonelli in a faster car. I don't really know what to say. It's really, really tough to say that much good about Liam Lawson at the moment. And you feel for him. I didn't think he deserved the 2nd seat. I think Yuki deserved the 2nd seat at Red Bull. But now that he's been given it, if he gets it taken away before Japan, that's just a shame. I'm not Liam's fan, but yeah, I don't know. Do you stay with him and then have what happened with Sergio Perez happen, where he just doesn't get better and you're trying to nip it in the bud early? This would be extremely early. I just don't really know what to say about him. Other than he had to perform. This is absolutely the worst way he could have started off in Red Bull. And people have said there are the people that say he's arrogant, and there are the people that say that's furthest from the truth. I think that the way he's presented himself in print, he's allowed himself to sound arrogant. He may not be arrogant, but he's allowed himself to sound arrogant. And that's not great. Another DQ, nothing really interesting happening with Alpine. What do you want me to say? Hey, how about Williams? Tied with Ferrari, and, a much better weekend, obviously, for Carlos. That team just has to finish, and they're going to get points, and I think they're going to be much better this year than people are giving them credit for. There is a video in the makings for that, and I hope to put it out in the next week or so stay tuned for that. Points! Haas, points. Let's get points, right? Points, excellent. That's what you need to do. you have a very young driver in Ollie, and then you have Ocon, and you know we're seeing kind of the fruits of that team. They're not the fastest, they're not the slowest, and you know, I think they have a shot to surprise on some weekends. Not every weekend, but on some. Consistency, right? Antonelli and Russell are seemingly incredibly consistent right now. In fact, they might be, other than McLaren, be the best pairing on the grid. And the Mercedes is just, it seems reliable, and you know, looking at it from a team standpoint, things seem to be working out for them. And that's exciting because McLaren has been, Mercedes has been so up and down in the past. Okay, in the past. So I think we're finally seeing some consistent outings and point scoring, not gathering. So yeah, I think that Mercedes is in a good spot. Most teams would want to be in their spot, other than McLaren, and I don't have McLaren here because I've already built it. But to talk about McLaren, hey, what can you say? You know, they're going to dominate this season, I think. And whether it's Lando or Oscar, that car is going to be fast every week. And I think that that's what we're going to be seeing. Aston Martin, let's talk about this. Lance Stroll, top 10 in every race so far, even the sprint. And yeah, how about Fernando Alonso? I don't know what to really say. I said that he would retire at the end of the season, and I stick by that. You know, 2 DNFs, just a rough start for him, but a good start for their younger driver, I would say. So, you know, okay. Well, yeah, Fernando, I still stand by he retires by the end of this year. I think that it's just not going to work out. And Lance is surprising. I can't talk trash about Lance right now, so good for him. Kick Sauber, sure. You know, surprisingly competitive at times. I just don't think that they're going to be in there for the entire season. So, you know, I'm not really going to go too far on that. And Racing Bulls, here we go. I guess I should have grabbed this one after Red Bull. I don't know. I just grabbed them all off my shelf here. You know, this is a really, really complicated team because I think both drivers are pretty good. Hadjar needs more experience at the F1 level. This is obviously his second race, and he couldn't even really start his first race, his first full race. He was in the sprint. But Yuki, you know, Hadjar qualified 7th for the Grand Prix, which is excellent. Finished 11th, and Yuki finished 16th. Not the right strategies and issues with the car. You know, but here we are. You know, the Racing Bull car looks like it can compete, and you know, you have one driver that has the experience, that has the talent. Does Yuki Tsunoda get called to Red Bull? And at this point, yes. Red Bull is not interested in making the same mistake as they did with Sergio Perez. You know, in letting him be in the car for too long and then just getting nothing out of it. You know, I certainly feel for Lawson. I just think that Lawson doesn't have enough time. It's not, you know, and if Yuki fails, you know, then they're rid of him at the end of the season. Yeah, so I think Yuki gets called up. I think that they're not going to make the same mistake with Lawson as they did with Perez. It's just so much. It's not fair to Lawson, but it wasn't fair to Yuki in the first place. So while I feel for Lawson, I think that Yuki gets the deserved space there. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. They can walk away from Yuki at the end of the year, and that works for them. If Lawson goes back down to Racing Bulls and does well, there you go. You know, I don't understand what the need to get Liam Lawson into Red Bull was. Check out this video where I ranted out, you know, about Yuki being passed over for Liam Lawson. It's one of my earlier videos, and quality isn't as good, but, it is what it is. But here we are at the precipice, at least Red Bull is, and they need to make a lot of hard decisions right now. They put themselves in this position where they only could fail, because if Liam Lawson didn't deliver, this was going to happen. Everybody was going to second guess them. And if they bring in Yuki, then it's going to be like, see, you should have done it. And if Yuki does well, people are like, well, what if Yuki fails? What if Yuki's bad? What if Yuki does well in the car? Then they look even worse for not getting him in earlier, for giving him all the time in the RB21. Yeah, RB21. It just was a mistake from the beginning, in my opinion. You have all the excuses that could be made if they'd say, hey, we gave Yuki the seat and he didn't do anything with it. Now they go, well, we gave Lawson the seat and he has not done anything with it. Absolutely nothing. And now we're possibly going to go with Yuki in Japan. That's not fair to Lawson, but again, they put themselves in this position. So we've got, no race this weekend, and then the race in Suzuka the following, which I always stay up for. I couldn't stay up for Shanghai. That's just, it would have been 3 a.m. here. I'm not going to do that. Stay up for the sprint, and then watch the replay of the race. But really, if you're not going to stay up, this was the one to not stay up for. Just not a really exciting race except for the DQs. Yeah, so we've got 2 weeks to kind of digest things and see where Red Bull goes from here, but, we'll see. So what do you think? Am I right with some of my opinions? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments below. If you got to this point of the video, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. I'd appreciate it, as it helps with the algorithm and all those other happy things with YouTube. So, I hope to see you again soon, and be looking out for that Williams video. I'll see you later. Take care.
All about crash. Somebody hit me in the rear, turn 2, and then somebody hit me in the rear again in turn 3. For sake.